I may hate drama in my life, but I love talking about the drama in yours.
I may watch too much reality TV, but you're listening to me talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Fumi.
And I'm B.
And you have tuned into a new episode of RealiTEA-V. And we're drinking some wine.
And we're back, y'all. And we're back, y'all.
And
we're back, y'all.
See, we had some wine.
Yeah.
So if you hear like a little glurping, one of us is sipping because there ain't no damn cups here.
We're definitely in a man's house. So we're kind of
taking it to a head with this 750 milliliter.
Yeah, none of us have had penis, so our mouths is pretty good for it right now.
Yeah, we're clean.
Sadly. I miss the days, your friend. Where your mouth been? Well, never mind, girl, because you know.
Like, shit. So we can actually share.
Where your mouth been on food?
Lord knows, that's all it's been on. My fat ass trying to lose some weight. Enter plug. So if you want to see me try to lose some weight, go to my Instagram, Fumi Loses Fat. F-U-N as in Nancy, M-I loses fat.
Yeah.
All one word.
Yep.
And see my struggles, because today wasn't a good day. So I'm over here sleeping on Slurpee and wine. But let me tell you about this lemonade Slurpee, though. If y'all ain't never had a lemonade Slurpee from 7-Eleven, you are missing out on life. It is so good.
She looks so passionate.
And I'm like holding it, like looking at
your
it.
life. Like a killer could come in here and be like, give me the Slurpee or Malachi. You're going to be like, do I really need Malachi?
Can I keep both?
You look like you'd hesitate.
And you know how I didn't want it? So we were on our way to this dear old studio. And B was like, hey, give me that Slurpee so I can throw it at him. I said, wait, why do you need my Slurpee?
Oh, we encountered a Trump supporter car.
A full-blown Trump supporter.
Didn't like California.
Make America great again. 2 Trump flags flying from the back windows.
Right. Liberals love free speech until you disagree with them.
I was like, as in California is no, like a little slash, like no like California in Nevada.
So he's never been to Disney.
So we was like, bitch, we here. Like, don't let these Nevada plates fool you. I only have to register my brand new car out here. Because I sure did have Cali plates not too long ago.
I miss him.
And what else he had on his car? And then I was like, babe, record it.
Yeah,
so,
we did.
Of course, he catches us recording.
Because I'm pretty sure he's used to it.
He did the little surfing.
Yeah, I think he thought, oh, black people for Trump.
And I was just like, nah, they gonna be laughing at you.
With your broke AC.
But you know, but we're bringing it up because B wanted to use my Slurpee. Throw it at him.
I felt like it would have been a straight shooter just inside the car.
Just the window was wide open. It was like a nice target. We're on the same level of driving.
Yeah.
And my SUV is up kind of high. Yeah. So it would have been like a perfect.
Yeah, right. Trump this. But
not with this lemonade Slurpee though. You ain't gonna.
You better try that shit with cherry.
You know, it's yeah. You can do the regular blue. It's like you on blue or red.
Right. Not this good yellow one.
No. It actually has a flavor. It's called lemonade. And I'm gonna waste my good. And then I got the big one too. No, we ain't gonna listen. But if you run across a 7-Eleven and they just so happen to have lemonade because they don't have it at all of them, it is kind of hard to find. Go ahead and get you one, the biggest one, and see how your life. It's like the perfect amount of sweetness, tartness.
Like good old grandma's lemonade.
Just crisp. Okay, anyway.
Welcome to our show.
Right. We're having a good time. Like I said, we're having wine, and I'm having my lemonade Slurpee at the same time. So it's just been like a really great 4.5 minutes that we've been recording this episode. right, let's get into these shows. And there's no celebrity news this week because we have plenty to talk about.
It's a lot.
So I'm finally ready to talk about 90 Day Fiance. I have binged for 2 weeks.
The greatest show of all time. I was like, Mona, you have nothing on TLC right now.
Nothing at all. TLC has some of the best reality TV shows on there.
Yes. And their version of Teen Mom, Unexpected.
I saw that. I gotta get in that too.
Every time I see the commercial where her mom's like, you've got to step up. And she's like, I gotta have help, Mom. And my every time she says that, I just want to be like, you didn't need no help when you was sitting on that dick. Now all of a sudden I need help, Mom. Like, right. Oh, but TLC has been like my go-to to last.
God forbid if that was one of my children, I would totally say something like that.
Yeah. You need no help when you was riding that dick.
You was popping pussy on a handstand. And now you need a helping hand. Why do you know?
You ain't getting mine.
You know you're gonna kick your ass out.
Yeah.
My son's back.
Right. Hopefully you didn't hear that.
Yeah, right.
But if you did.
He was gone for 2 months and he's finally back home, driving me nuts, and it's barely been 3 days. But, that's what boys do. Drive their mamas crazy.
Yep.
But anyway, back to this 90 Day Fiance.
Yeah.
So, if you guys don't know, 90 Day Fiance, it's a franchise at this point.
Yeah.
It's on TLC. It started off with 90 Day Fiance, the original. The show is based on people who fall in love with people outside of the country, and they file for a K-1 fiance visa. It's called 90 Day Fiance because once that person comes to the States, they have 90 days
to get married.
And
stay.
Yeah. And then after that, they can't work, they can't drive, they can't get a driver's license. No, for the 90 days.
Oh, okay.
And then after they get married, and then they can apply for the green card, and then they can start to drive and work and all that.
All that good stuff, yes.
Pretty much these stupid Americans are the ones that have to put up financially to go and see them, to fly them here. Yeah. Well, I mean, they could probably chip in, like, coming to the States.
Yeah.
But housing, working, paying the bills, all the stupid Americans have to do it because the other person can't work. So,
who is starting with first?
It's just let's start with the original because
there's so many.
My mind is just going bananas. It's like all these files of couples. Okay, the most dramatic couples of 90 Day Fiance. George and Anfisa.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Then Muhammad and Danielle.
Yes, yes.
Chantel and Pedro.
Yeah.
And
I would have to say
Molly and what was his name? Juan? No, the one from Dominican Republic.
The other one.
Yeah, Molly's from Georgia. Do you remember her reality show she had?
She looked so familiar, but I couldn't figure it out.
Remember that show they had about a bra store in Atlanta? I did watch it. And they make like special made for big titties.
Because she was saying like her business is like
in the very, very first episode she mentioned. I was like, no wonder she looks familiar. That's the reality TV show she had, and I want to say it was on TLC.
Also, Nicole and Morocco boy. Oh, why do I always forget his name? Azan. Oh,
I don't know why I forgot about them because they're not. You know, they never really. Okay, we'll get to them in a second. Okay, so George and Anfisa.
It's like, I don't know who's worse out of the two. Actually, I think it's him.
I was going to say George. Okay.
Yeah.
So I feel like George is worse because, don't get me wrong, Anfisa's bad.
But she's straight up.
She's straight up. I mean, if a man doesn't have money, then what do I do with him? Like,
right.
She has been very...
You know why I'm here. And you know why you picked me up.
Yeah.
And brought me to America.
Yeah.
So... I'm just asking about all the stuff you promised me, which, when you put it that way...
You can't be mad.
Right.
The part where she crosses the line is that she gets so upset that she starts hitting him.
Yeah.
Keyed his car and spelled idiot in his car. He bought an R8. An R-fucking-8 Audi.
Yeah.
Do you know how much those cost?
Yeah.
And he went and bought it, go pick her up at the airport, which is like, nigga, there ain't no trunk.
Right.
And she was like, why do you have this car? She's from Russia. And he was like, well, I just got a new car. She's like, I don't like it. And then he had to call a taxi to come and get the luggage because he didn't have enough space for all her suitcase. She just traveled her whole life to the U.S. and you decided to go get an R8. It barely would fit the person on the carry-on. Let alone she had like 2 or 3 suitcases and then like a purse and then like something else.
Yeah, well, he probably about to go to jail anyway.
So he had been when they were in their dating phase, he was pretty much flashing his money. Mm-hmm. Like, I have this, literally, according to Anfisa, flashing dollar bills in her fucking face. Of course, you're going to attract gold diggers or any woman that feels like they deserve that amount of money. Yeah. Point blank, period. So, of course, they travel, they stay at these hotels and just living the life. And then, before she came to the States, they got in an argument and Fisa didn't want to talk to George because he refused to get her a $10,000 Chanel bag. Mm-hmm. And when I say she has tantrums, she has tantrums. At the time, she was only 20 years old. Yeah. So I think George is like 26 or something like that. Mm-hmm. And so she finally does come to the States because she was like, I'm not coming because you won't give me my bag. And in the beginning, you're like, why is she such like a bitch about not getting certain stuff? And then she would be like, oh, well, I need some money every month. And he was like, well, what do you think? She was like, $10,000 per month. He laughed. She was like, that's not a lot. Like I didn't say 100,000. I didn't say 1 million. That's what she said. Yeah. I was like, damn, this bitch is ruthless. But it wasn't until like a season or 2 later into Happily Ever After where he had just been flossing all this kind of money. A liar. And spending all this money. And it got to the point where it was depleted and he just didn't have any more. And so now she wound up marrying him in a courthouse because she couldn't afford like the wedding that she wanted. Remember that $45,000 wedding dress she tried on? She's like, what's your most expensive dress? She's like, all you need is 20% down today. Yeah. And it's like 20% of $45,000? Yeah. That's $9,000. And she's just like, what? Yeah. But it's like, she didn't think it was a big deal because he made it seem like he was a millionaire. Yeah. She's like, you're not a millionaire? He was like, no. She was like, well, why are you flaunting your money and stuff like that? And then now when I ask for certain stuff, you
get mad at me.
Yeah, because I get irritated because I can't get what I want. Yeah. And he wants a woman that's by his side no matter what and not just for the money.
And then he's just like an habitual liar himself. And it's like, he
lied about everything. Even when he knew if she was going to find out. Yeah. And in the beginning, of course, they didn't really show his lies too much. So she would say, he's lying all the time. It's like, what is he lying about? Right. But he would lie about the dumbest things. For example, they got in an argument because he said he was going to go to the car really quick. But in reality, he had left to go see attorneys by himself because she wanted to do a post-nup after she found out he was not only didn't have money, but he was in debt. And she was like, well, I want to post-nup because I don't want to be responsible for your debt that you created. Right. When it's like, technically you created it too because he was buying you all this stuff. So it was funny how like, well, I want your money, but when you don't have money, I don't want to be responsible of the money that you don't. I don't want your bills.
I want the other bills, but not these bills.
Right. I want the dollar bills, not your debt bills. So she wanted to go see posting up divorce, which wind up being divorce lawyers. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna go to the car, and then he leaves to go see these these attorneys by himself, and she calls him over and over and over again. She's like, you told me you were gonna come back now. Like, we're not exaggerating. You would need to go and see it for yourself, whether it be YouTube, just do George and Anfisa or whatever, and listening to her screaming bloody murder at the top of her fucking lungs. Like, you need to come back. Now, guess what? You were like, why he didn't just block her? Oh, that doesn't work. Because what Anfisa likes to do is he was dumb enough to give her all his like iPhone, iCloud passwords. So what she would do is find my phone and have this ugly, if you ever done find my iPhone for your iPhone, it's this really annoying pitchy sound.
Yeah, it's bad.
And it just goes ringing and ringing and ringing and ringing. So when he went to go look at wedding rings, of course, he didn't tell her exactly where he was. She did find my iPhone. And he just got to the point where he just tried to tune it out and just continue. And the lady was like, what is that? It's like, my girlfriend's trying to get my attention. It's like, so you can't really block her because she didn't find my iPhone. Another argument she got, I think it was for the Chanel bag. Yeah. She reset his phone from a distance and then locked him out of his own email and changed the password. Like, she's one of those real vindictive, if I do not get what I want, I am going to raise all types of hell. Yeah,
and it's like, but you knew what you were getting into, so I don't feel sorry for you at all.
Not at all. So they wind up still getting married anyway. Lourdes, one of George's sisters, none of them really liked her. Yeah. They didn't like her honesty. They didn't like how the fact that she's always like, well, he promised me certain things and now I expect it. And if he can't give me those things, then I'm just going to piss me off because I left my whole family and friends in Russia to come over here in the States. And I was just like, damn, every time she says something, it's like, I can't even really be mad at her because it's true. Right. You can't flaunt your money. Right. Or what you have to a woman, and then that's what they expect. And then when you finally nab her, you want her to love you for you.
Yeah, like, no.
That's not how any of that works. That's why people who really do have money or trust funds and stuff like that, if they want somebody purely for love, they wind up not telling them about their money. Right. And what they have.
Or at least being modest about it.
Very modest about it.
So, dumbass. So, now I'm just waiting for next season to see if this baby is his, which I really feel like it is.
Oh, yeah. So that was one of his lies, was that he swore up and down he didn't have a baby. Mm-hmm. And they even talked to the lady. They didn't, say her name or anything because they didn't want to give her away her identity.
Yeah, he didn't took her and the kid shopping before and all
this.
He was
like, I was just trying to be nice. Like, if that's not your kid and you don't have anything to do with her, you don't take the kid and the mom out for ice cream. Yeah. That's just, leaving the door open for all this time. But yet he was trying to tell Anfisa, I haven't seen her or talked to her in years. And she was like, we were just having conversations last year. Yeah. Your daughter's 10. I've been asking you, I just want to take a DNA test and get this over with. She was like, I've been asking you for years for a DNA test. And now that your wife is getting involved.
And you could tell he's lying.
Of course.
Because when she would say something, oh my God, that line. Oh my God, no.
What are they The best lie of all time was when the producers were asking George, when was the last time you saw your sister? Because that's just after they got back together. Yeah. And he was like, I don't know. And then the producer's like, was the last time you saw her was with the divorce lawyers?
And she was like, what?
And then she tried to pull away from him because they were doing their little interview together. Yeah. And he was like, what? I don't know what they're talking about. I didn't see no lawyers. She was like, I'm going to find out. You might as well just tell me now or you're going to make it worse. That's what I tell my 7-year-old.
Right.
Like, literally.
You're gonna make it
don't
worse.
tell me the truth now, you're going to make it worse. And you're going to get in more trouble later. Okay. And he didn't even, like, really admit that he did. He was just like, okay. Okay, what?
Right.
Did you see Dolores? I mean, yeah. Like, it was just, he was a habitual liar.
About everything.
About the money. He lied and didn't tell her that he had a record. Mm-hmm. He lied because she was trying to, like, why can't we get a place to live? They were living in hotels. He'd be like, I have a secret to tell Teresa. And then blah, blah, blah. And then that's when he found out that he got convicted of transportation of marijuana. Yeah. I guess back when it was before recreational was legal. And then, so as far as the kid, wait, what did we talk about? Oh, yeah. So when they broke up, there was a tell-all, aka reunion. When they were broken up, they hadn't seen each other in months because she kicked him out. I don't know how many times she kicked George out. Yeah. And he was like, it's a shame that, you know, your wife does certain things. And he was telling the host, ask her what she does for a living. She was like, I don't do nothing. Like, right. And I was just thinking, and Fisa's not really the one to lie about anything. Yeah. She's very upfront and honest about everything. Yeah. And he was like, they were like, well, what does she do? She's like, well, ask her. And she was like, I don't do anything. And the host was like, okay, if you're going to bring it up, you might as well just say it because you're leaving it open to interpretation and people can just start rumors. And he was like, you know, it's just crazy that your wife does a certain thing for a living. And he just never said it. Yeah. Come the next season of Happily Ever After, yeah, I lie. I just want to make her image look bad. And then they wind up getting back together. It's like, what the fuck? Oh, we're married now. Okay, this is what pisses me off. You don't get married for the right reasons in the beginning. Mm-hmm. But now that you're married and something really bad happens, now you want to use the marriage card as a means to make things work. That's not how that's supposed to work. Yeah. You're supposed to get married for the right reasons in the first fucking place so that I can say I'm married to you and I'm going to work it out with you.
Yeah. God bless them.
So we'll see. Yeah. Oh, and before we move on to the new couple, George got arrested again.
Yeah, I'm like, he's waiting
same
jail
thing,
time or something.
300 pounds of weed transport from state to state. I want to say he got arrested in Nevada. Mm-hmm. And of course, he couldn't talk about it on the show, but he pled like not guilty.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, you still aren't supposed to transport, like, even though Nevada and California are both, you know, legal for recreational, there's still guidelines that you have to follow. You can't just like, oh, recreational weed is okay, cool. 1,000 tons of weed, everybody, and just like, take a truck and go across state line. That's not how any of that works. You can't really transport it like that. People from Portland can't go to LA and just have, oh, I got some weed in the back. No. Yeah. You can't do that. It's still illegal federally too. You still have to be careful. But he got arrested, so I would love to know how that all works out. Mm-hmm. Okay. Next couple. Muhammad and Danielle.
Mm-hmm. Are they in No, I don't think they're in the new season anymore.
No, the last Happily Ever After, they weren't in there. Yeah. Because the tell-all, he was like, I'm just going to disappear. And then they followed up with her and he had changed his number. Yeah, he literally disappeared. So Muhammad was from Tunisia. Mm-hmm. And Danielle's from Sandusky, Ohio. They met online on the dating site. Now, let me tell y'all something. I'm a big bitch, right? There are just some things you have to be very cautious about when it comes to dating. And some of it is like kind of fucked up, but you still have to be careful about it. If he's too good looking. I'm just saying you gotta be careful because they might want to play you for some game.
And then with her, it wasn't even as much her weight. It was like, she looks like she could be your grandma.
That too. I was going to bring that up too. Yeah. But then just, you know, you have to be very cautious because you don't know what the intentions of that guy is. Whether they're really good looking or not, you know, you just have to, you gotta be careful. I need to make sure you like big bitches because I am one. If I hear one type of, you need to eat healthy, I'm leaving. Because you know I was a big bitch when you met me.
Yeah.
So if I'm eating some chicken and some fries, that shouldn't be a problem to you. You can't try to change me.
Yeah.
And try to feel like I'm some science project that you're trying to work on. Like, you can't really, unless it's like we're in a good relationship and I tell you, you know, baby, I've been thinking and I want to get healthy. Can you help me? That's a whole different story. Yeah. But I don't want you to be like, oh, we're on our first and second date. And like, oh, you don't think you want like a salad? Excuse me? If I wanted a fucking salad, I would have ordered a fucking salad.
Yeah, that was like Azan and Nicole. But I was kind of on his side with that.
Okay, we're going to get to them too, because I was thinking the same way. Okay. So anyway, back to Danielle and Muhammad. They met on some site. She fell in love with him. One of the requirements for the K-1 visa is that you have to prove a legitimate relationship and you have to have met them in person at least one time. Yeah. So that's significant more for Nicole and Azan, but she went to Tunisia a couple times. You know what I was really asking myself? How the fuck all these working class people got time and money to be traveling all over the fucking world?
Just not doing nothing else with their money, and then parts of the U.S. that they live in. Like, oh, all right, I can go do this. And people was I forgot the guy in Haiti, he was taking out his 401k and stuff. I'm like,
no, I thought that was the Philippines one.
Yes, that was. Wrong
okay.
Couple. Yeah. So I'm like,
he was like, I hope it's worth it. I spent my 401k on this. It's like,
and then like, I guess I'm going to not say normal, but the way it should be. But people really be like, yeah, my savings, I have like 20, 30 grand. And of course, for us, it's like, God dang it, how do you get that? But it's like a lot of people, not everybody.
But there's some people who are good at saving. Yeah. But we'll get to them. But my huge question was for like at Nicole. Like, you hopping on a plane in Morocco every 2, and then you're taking 1 month, 2 months, a year off. It's like, okay, we'll get. Maybe I should.
I have a answer, but I might not be very nice.
That's okay.
I mean,
our podcast. No, wait. Pause. Let's keep it for. We're gonna get to them because I have a lot to talk about them. I have to burp. All right. Excuse me. So nasty. Anyway, so they filed for the K-1 visa. He says that he's in love with Danielle and blah, blah, blah. And he comes over and she has 4 kids, 3 that lives with her. And those 3 are the daughters. Yeah. Of course, they're skeptical. And she's just like, oh, I'm in love with Muhammad. Now, I don't want to like talk about her looks. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like,
they did get married and he wouldn't kiss her.
Yes, but the whole thing he was talking about kissing is actually true for Muslims. Just to be honest. Devil's advocate. Yeah. If it was Ramadan, they're not supposed to do stuff like that. Anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. It was just so much going on with them. Yeah. So they come and she wasn't really honest about her finances. Oh. About her being in debt and not really being able to hardly keep the lights on, the cable on, the cell phones on. So they were having problems with that. He waits until the day of the wedding to go see an immigration attorney to see like how debt and stuff falls on him. Yeah. So why would you do this and wait till the day of the wedding to decide? I'm like, bitch, would you just man up? Like, you're being like a sad cow. Like, you know, if you are a woman of a particular size, you need to have some level of confidence.
Don't let your size be like a deterrent to be just like, shit, what is the word?
Desperate?
Desperate? Don't be a
simp?
Yeah, They're those, oh my God, too much wine. There are those things you put in front of doors. A doormat. Yes.
Oh my God. I was about to say a door stopper.
That too. Don't let that door stop on you.
You need to have some level of confidence.
Right. And you better stand there in all your Rasputia nature and be like, look here, motherfucker.
Bitch, you did not say Rasputia.
Was Norbit trying it with her?
I'm gonna show you how the bitch climbed out the slide. You know what? Yes, you need to have Rasputia level.
And she
of
had
confidence.
men on the side.
She had a bikini on, gut out, and everything, and said, "I'm gonna show you."
And had a side piece. Like, don't let this bigness fool
workout
you.
One at that.
Right. Don't let this bigness fool you.
I don't think I'm Rasputia level confidence,
right.
but I'm pretty up there. Rasputia, I'm refuse to have all this fat falling out of a damn bikini. That's what I'm not gonna do.
I could have a body like J-Lo. I still won't have Rasputia's confidence. Couldn't tell her shit.
Not one thing at all. But yeah, you gotta have, she's just making it like a sad puppy dog, like, don't leave me. I love you. And it's like, you reek of desperation.
Right, girl, lady, it's obvious.
I could be like, I can find another Muhammad.
I mean, you got 4 kids, so clearly you've had men laying the pipe down before.
This is very true.
When you think about it, it's not like you're like, damn it, I'm 50, I have no kids, I only have this cat. Bitch, you've been getting it in your younger years.
You got pregnant at least 4 times. That means a dick was in there at least 4 times. So you've been getting something in these 45 years of your life.
You just didn't found
and
it.
Apparently they fucked when they was in Tunisia.
I wouldn't doubt it.
So of course he said, I talked to the lawyer and blah, blah, blah. You have to be honest about your finances from now on. And then, of course, they get married. Mm-hmm. And what B brought up, he said during the time of the religious month, they're not supposed to display PDA in front of other people. Now, I believe that is true.
The audience at the wedding, like, what the fuck?
And then somebody, I was like, can she kiss you on the cheek? And then so they kiss each other on the cheek or whatever. I was like, yeah. That's the part that threw me off. It's like, if it's no type of PDA, I think kissing on the cheek would be considered PDA too.
And then why you didn't tell her that? Because when he was like, you may now kiss the bride, she just looked so like, kiss me, daddy. And he's like, not so fast. Like, you would have just heard silence, and when you would have heard me in the audience like, oh, bitch. Like,
I would, y'all better go behind that wall and make out. If you can't be in front of us,
I won't look.
Everybody turn around so they can kiss.
Just terrible. So this nigga is a married man, and of course, you know.
How'd she afford her dress? Wasn't her dress like $300? She was like, we don't have that much money. You know what? I'm sorry. If I only have $1,000 budget for my wedding, I'm gonna say fuck that. We going to the courthouse.
Yeah, because I can take that $1,000 and at least.
And we gonna go to the China buffet afterwards.
Like on a honeymoon. Like, you know what?
Shit. She spent all that damn money going to Tunisia. That's what it was.
That's crazy.
So
he gets his citizenship. Starts feeling himself.
No, he wasn't. He didn't get his citizenship.
Oh yes, not at that point.
He.
Start taking selfies.
We found out in a season or 2 later that they didn't consummate the marriage for 3 months.
He had to work up some courage.
And okay, I want to talk about what she brought up at the tell-all. Yeah, but I'll bring that up in a second. So they were married on the next season, the very next season, which was the first season of the Happily Ever After. Muhammad left the house 2 months after he got his green card.
He was feeling himself. He started taking selfies.
He was traveling the world with bitches.
And yes, just all up in the videos. Yeah. Just dancing. Hashtag U.S. citizen.
Hashtag green card.
Hashtag mood. Like
I can work and drive. I don't have to give that bitch Nicole anymore.
Oh my God.
He said, according to him, he said, I could not handle Danielle. She was screaming and yelling, I want sex now. I want sex now. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Yes, it's been a while since I had watched that season, but
Right.
yeah.
Mind you, I'm watching this all in the past 2 weeks, so I remember everything.
Right. Oh my God.
That was at like a tell-all, but it's kind of like I'm trying to go in chronological order. And it was just more problems with finances, which is weird because she wound up letting him put bills in his name. Like the cable and stuff, because when he left, he got slick. It was like, I'm cutting this bitch off. She is not fucking up my credit no more. So he
no more on demand for you. Oh my God.
So yeah, the TV wasn't working. Daughter was like, Mom, the TV ain't working. And so she had to call and they were like, Muhammad cut it off.
Movie.
What?
Cindy,
The TV's leaking. Cindy, the TV's leaking.
every time I see Regina Hall, I just think Brenda. Like, you will always be Brenda.
Oh shit, she's
like the greatest character.
Remember that? She said, oh shit, she showed me. I'm gonna show these walls, Ray. I need to watch Scary Movie now. Indeed, the TV's leaking.
Mom, the TV's not working.
But yeah, they were just like, Brenda, Mom, the TV isn't working. And so when she called, not only did he was like, fuck you and your cable, bitch, he had the audacity. She had to wind up paying last month and this month to get the shit back on.
Oh my God. All because she wanted some dick from her husband. That is fucked up when you think about it. Like,
so he was just traveling with bitches. He went to New York. He went here. He went there. I said, what the fuck green card job you got?
Right. That's what I want to know.
But apparently bitches is hitting him up on Facebook.
Hell yeah.
That's kind of what it really was, is that a lot of rumors were coming up on Facebook and social media. And when I say that bitch legit had her laptop perched on her lap when she was on the couch.
Investigating.
There's new rumors today. He didn't got 12 bitches pregnant. It's like, girl, you are really like obsessing over.
Yeah.
We all know that stuff on social media isn't true. But at the same time, I do believe in, that was my number.
I mean, 8, okay, but 12?
I was just making up shit. But I mean, I do believe when there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah.
I feel like there was some truth to it, but it's like you're obsessing over your marriage vows based on people you don't even fucking know. Mm-hmm. So every time somebody would say, oh, I mean, he really could have been saying hi to somebody. They could have took it as flirting and like, remember that Muhammad guy from he was trying to fuck me last night. It's like, bitch, I was only saying hi. Like, you know, people like really over exaggerate things on social media. So the fact that she was really letting it consume her. Mm-hmm. And then I guess every time she would find out something, she would confront him and he just got over it.
Yeah.
And was like, you know what? You just gave me my out.
You gonna accuse me of cheating? I might as well go.
I should have cheated.
And he did.
So he wound up moving with, what was her name? The blonde?
Oh.
To Miami, out of all places. He was like, oh, we're just friends. But then he'd be like, she's such a beautiful girl and blah, blah, blah. Like he was always talking about these women that were on the show. Yeah. Like after he left, like how much nicer they were and they're so pretty and blah, blah, blah. Of course, Danielle's still looking on fucking social media. So every time he posts something with his friends, you're with another bitch.
Lord.
She was like, and so for one example, the black girl. Yeah. He took a picture with, and it wasn't just them two. It was like another person in the photo. So it's like the other two could have been a couple. She would have never known. And that's where her fault comes in. But Muhammad takes a picture with this girl and some other guy and posts it on social media. Here come her stalking ass. Oh. He posted another picture with another bitch. Let me call him. Mohammed, you posted more pictures. You should have respect for me. He was like, they're my friends. Like, I can't have friends. She was like, you know what? You keep going from girl to girl. You know what they call that? They call that a gigolo. And you'd be lucky if your dick don't fall off. And then her little redneck friend on the couch, laughing.
Oh,
and I was like, it makes her look so stupid because she's the one that said he keeps posting pictures with pretty women.
Yeah.
Me? Bitch, I'm pretty all the time.
I am.
I'm bomb as fuck.
Right.
Just because they're skinny doesn't mean they look better than me, ho.
I don't think she realized she had the upper hand in that.
She really
because she could have been like, you know what? Annulment. But I don't know how that really works.
She tried to do an annulment. Here's the problem with annulment in general. Annulment, you have to prove that there was some type of falsehood or fraudulent activity or pretenses prior to you getting married, to where that marriage is pretty much stricken from the... It never happened. So it's very hard to prove that in general. But the problem with Danielle is that she went out of her way to go visit this person, spend all this money, go across the country, bring him over. And now, because you're upset, now you want to say, not when y'all didn't fuck for 3 months.
Yeah, that would have been like, you got 3 days.
Now, when that should have been the time to let you know, like, something's off. Like, we fucked before. I married 3 months ago, and we're not fucking now. This is some fraudulent shit. You ain't gonna give me my dick. I'm about to do this annulment. You didn't do a thing. You wait until women were posted on his social media for you to claim it was finally fraudulent. Yeah. Like, you should have did that earlier. So we're talking about 1.5 years after they get married, 2 years after they get married, before you try to really file for an annulment.
That's like I'm married to Drake and he ain't giving me no dick. I think the fuck not.
I expect dick, and I want it, and I want it now.
Like, fuck you think this is?
I don't want no damn Adonis situation. Right. I want my dick that I married. Right. It's mine.
But I'll take an Adonis Jr.
It's my dick and I need it now.
You are a loved one that suffered from SOP.
If you're the loved one that has suffered being dickless, call 1-800 I need dick now.
Jesus. No. Oh my God. Bless her heart.
So that's why it's like I didn't feel bad for her. Yeah. Now, she did file for an annulment. Yeah. Muhammad has this thing where he will sweet talk your ass he will sweet talk your jaws off, probably. So when she filed for the annulment, and she actually no, that was the second time. Anyway, she filed for the annulment, and he was like, oh, I'm going to go to Ohio to talk to Danielle to see if she can pull the annulment and get a divorce. Because when you get an annulment, it doesn't automatically scream fraud to green card or whatever. Yeah, but it does, like, it doesn't help. Yeah. Because it's like, well, your whole point of doing the K-1 visa is because you were in a legitimate relationship with somebody.
And if that's false, then
then it's committing fraud. We have grounds
to look at you.
Yeah, we have grounds to look at you, convict you of fraudulent activity, and send your ass back home once you're done with your time. So he's trying to convince Danielle to get a divorce instead of annulment because he just wants to be over with it. He wants to stay in the United States. He doesn't want to go back. He built a life here, blah, 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 whatever. So he goes to Ohio mainly because the pretty blonde girl he moved to Miami with, they wind up not working out because they wind up arguing and stuff because she was a real laid back person. He's like, I want to do stuff now. I want to work now. Like, call your friends now. She's like, I told you 4 times. I will call my friends. We will work. Just calm down. And then that didn't wind up working out. So he goes to Ohio, sweet talks her with a friend to pull the annulment. And her bitch ass did it. She pulled the annulment because this is where she's stupid. He was like, oh, we can be friends. We be friends. he didn't want to fuck you before.
Right.
What makes you think he wants to be friends with
happy
you?
hour.
Right. No. And mind you, he was still living in Miami. He only
Yeah.
went to Ohio just so she can pull the annulment.
Yeah.
So, of course, she's still happy. In her mind, that equates to we could possibly get back together. Because technically she didn't file for a divorce.
Right.
She only filed for an annulment. That's pulled. So they're still legally married. And no one did a divorce or anything yet. So he gets back to Miami, and the bitch blowing him up. Text messages, phone calls, and he's just not having it. He over here with some pretty bitches, according to Danielle, and she wasn't having it. So guess what? There was some mail that was sent to her house accidentally from Muhammad with the Miami address. Her ass, with the money, I don't know where it came from, all of a sudden just flew to my... I'm going to surprise him. If he didn't want to answer your phone calls and
She
texts...
said, oh no.
What makes you think...
You want to answer the door.
Right! So she told him, oh, I'm coming to Miami. He was like, I don't want to see this bitch. Like, he was like, let me just talk to her so I can get this over and done with. And because he was like, this is the last time... this is the last conversation we have. After this, I don't want to see you no more. I don't want to look at you no more. I don't even to know anybody by the name of Danielle after
Jesus,
you.
Such a
of
broad
course,
category.
she gets all angry again. I wasn't an
Lord.
So she had all these paperwork of any posts about Muhammad that other people did, strangers,
Just
any type of
everything.
text message conversation other people have put on social media, any type of communication he had with anybody on. This bitch is literally sitting in front of her computer and pressing
Everything.
print and had color-coded text messages.
You know that ink was a lot.
Yeah, that was a lot. Bitch, where you get this money from? I don't even have money for ink.
It's frivolous ink.
I'm like, $15? Oh, no. I'm not paying $15 for ink. And she has a full-fledged folder. Now she's mad again.
Yeah.
Now she's mad because she pulled the annulment, which she shouldn't have done in the first place.
Now she's back to collecting receipts.
He just want to be friends so I can pull the annulment.
Bitch, yes.
It's like, stop crying.
Get a hold of yourself.
Her eyes are leaking.
Oh,
And so they meet up, and she's like yelling in the streets of Miami. Of course, he looks like Mr. Cool Guy because he's laying on the gate like, Danielle, have respect for people. They're sleeping. She's like, look at you. You're just so rude. I'm going to call the police. Call the police. They show up, and she throws a whole folder full of documents at him. And when the police show up, they said had they been inside the house, they would have arrested her for domestic violence.
See, Lord, you about to ruin your life trying to confront him.
And that's the thing. She kept wanting to confront him because every time she would tell her daughters, like, I'm going to go talk to Muhammad, they'd be like, bitch, why? Why do you need to talk to him? You're trying to get this answer that you're never going to get.
Yeah.
Some situations, whether it be a breakup, divorce, hell, a manager that's getting on your fucking nerves, at some point you're like, is it worth me wasting my energy trying to get through a brick wall?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any kind of sense. So every 2 seconds, I want to talk to him. I want to talk to him. I want to talk to him. It's like, he don't want to talk to you, though. Bitch, just do the annulment. You could have had that done and over with when y'all didn't fuck the first 3 months.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to fly all the way to Miami. So she leaves and goes back to Ohio.
Yeah.
They have the tell-all. She serves in copies of papers for the second annulment that she filed. And I'm not pulling it this time. Oh, now you won't have confidence? Okay.
Yeah.
So the next season of Happily Ever After, they wind up going to court. And unfortunately, the judge pretty much were not going to do an annulment, settle with a divorce. So, of course, Muhammad gets what he wants. I thought it was so hilarious. It's like, people want to attack me, and for my safety, I'm just going to record everything. So he's literally walking down the walkway with his camera phone.
Right.
I just want to make sure no one attacks me. It was pretty funny.
Lord.
Of course, he gets what he wants, which is a divorce. I mean, they still have to do like, she still has to report the whole situation to whatever department it is with the U.S., like for immigration or whatever. I don't think it's necessarily ICE, but it could be. I'm not sure when it comes to the green card situation. And they go, so now this is what I want to bring up. At the tell-all, Muhammad actually did not want to bring it up. Mm-hmm. He was like, I don't want to talk about it because I feel like it's really personal. This was a question of why Muhammad wouldn't fuck Danielle.
Oh, no.
And he was like, I don't want to say. I just didn't want to sleep with her. Danielle, see, I wouldn't have brought this up because y'all ain't going to make fun of me and my fat ass. He was like, oh, he told somebody that I smelled and I peed on him.
Oh.
I said, bitch, he really was trying to do you a favor of not bringing it up.
Yeah.
So that must have meant that it really did happen.
Oh, no.
And then after that, he was like, well, shit, bitch, you brought it up. Now let me spill the beans. He said, she really needs to see a doctor before she has sex with anybody.
Oh, no.
And then everybody was like, that's so mean. I'm thinking, well, this is a reason.
Is that like hygiene? Like the smell down there? Is there infection? Is there like that? For a man to say that, like, you need to see a doctor, that's pretty serious.
No, it's pretty serious because, I mean, let's be real. It's not a lot of, like, it's a lot of big girls.
Yeah.
You've never really heard that as a really high problem.
But if a man won't be like, take a shower and then we can get to this, that means that's an issue.
Or it's an issue that she doesn't even know that she needs to take a shower.
Oh, that's even worse. How do you... that's a whole nother discussion.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a whole nother... Like, you think that you are clean enough to go pop your pussy on the handstand, but like, all the while, that pussy smells.
He's like, no.
How do you not, as a woman, not know that?
Yeah.
You can be like, you know what?
Something ain't right.
I'm not really feeling myself right now. Let me go take a shower.
Right.
I mean, hell, bitches just take showers just because. They know they got a dick appointment.
Hello.
If I got a constant dick appointment that I can have every day, bitch, just take a shower every day.
And we're newlyweds. It's like, wait. And I take a shower and something still is not off. You know what? Let me go make to the doctor appointment.
It's okay. Like, that's just a part of hygiene.
We're women. It happens.
Like, if you feel like something's off.
There's a whole system down there we got to keep up.
Yeah, you got to make sure that, you know, you ain't got a UTI. Sometimes it's just normal stuff. Yeast infection, all that. It happens. But if you're not the type of woman to really be like, husband, I would love to pop my pussy on a handstand right now.
But I need a couple days. I got to go figure some shit out.
I need some monostat.
Or something. But for you to just be in all your glory, and come get this. It's like, no, bitch.
That's the part that really was like shocking. Yeah. I'm like, as a big girl myself, I've never heard that problem.
Yeah.
And never want to hear it as a problem. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I know I took a shower. But that was like 4 hours ago. And my dick appointment's an hour. And it was just taking that shower. Yeah. It's not going to hurt.
Right. And it sounds like it wasn't even a weight problem. Because he didn't say you need to lose some weight before you have sex. He said you need to go to the doctor.
She smells and she peed on him. And said that she needs to see a doctor before she fucks anybody.
So he making future recommendations.
Is that really a problem on him?
No, it's no.
And he did try to keep it to himself.
He tried.
So now that she brought it up, and he was like, well, shit, I'm going to follow up with what I really want to say. Yeah. Now he mean.
Yeah.
I guess that's some form of caring. Because if you really don't care about it, bitch,
you would just be loving hip hop. Well,
what do you call Jock called Carly pimento cream cheese. It's like, But you was fucking it, though.
Right. So clearly it wasn't a problem then.
No, I feel like if you want to keep it to yourself, it's because you're embarrassed that you actually fuck somebody with pimento cream cheese. You're not going to blurt it out to the world. And so the fact that she did it on fucking live television during the reunion when it was like really like, bitch, I'm watching.
Yeah.
I was appalled. Like,
yeah.
So that was the first tell all from the Happily Ever After.
Yeah.
And then,
okay, I feel like we probably can do one more from Happily. Oh, because there's so many of them.
It's a lot. We're probably gonna have to break this up.
Yeah. So who's the last one we gonna talk about?
We have to talk about Nicole and Azan.
Yeah, that's my favorite couple. Not favorite, but just like
the best storyline.
Yeah, once I had watched their wedding special, I connected all the dots. I said, I see it.
Oh, I saw that,
It all makes sense now.
It does.
I was like,
okay.
Lord.
So you have Azan and Nicole. They met online. Azan lives in Morocco. Nicole lives in Florida. Why? I know it's a lot of people from Florida on this show for some reason. And she was 22 at the time at her first season. And Azan's like 2 or 3 years older than her. Yeah. She has a 2-year-old daughter named May at the time of the very first episode, her season. And
it's just
another big girl. But this one has, a baby involved.
She just really pissed me off. Because
which part? Because it was a lot.
Mainly because you took your baby to Morocco. Like, what if this guy is a killer? What if his family is a killer? Put your life in danger. That's all good and well. But keep your baby at home with her grandparents, if that was an option. Or just that part I really didn't like.
I think she tried to justify because she went to Morocco by herself first. And they wanted to do the K1 visa, but they hadn't even met each other in person yet. So she had to go to Morocco. She went for like a month. Yeah. First of all, I was like, that's a long time for your ass going there the very first fucking time. And you're in a Muslim country. Yeah. And you white as
all
day.
Her money.
And so she goes the first time, and remember her family was like around that dinner table kind of talking to her right before she went the first time. And they were like, did you do any like research or anything? Yeah. Because you know what? It actually is really good to do research on the country before you go.
Oh, of course.
Especially for a Muslim country, because just like before you go to Dubai, you can't be doing all kind of crazy shit. Because you get arrested for doing stuff that you would normally do in the United States, but it's illegal out there. Like, you really have to be sure what you do. So one of the things is like they don't really show PDA and stuff like that there. The most they can do is like hold hands, which I felt like he was very vocal of saying. But because it was her first time seeing him in person, she wanted to kiss and hug and
do the works.
Yeah, in public. And he's like, I cannot. And so she would say she understood, but she would have the worst attitude. Yeah. When you would have to tell her again, like, we can't do this in public. And she was like, well, I don't know. How are you going to show me off? Remember, she was like, how are you going to show me off? It's like, show you off.
Right. You show yourself off enough.
You already white as fuck in this Muslim country. How much more do you need to be shown off? Yeah. Blonde, big girl, walking the streets of Morocco in flip-flops and army pants.
Yeah, with this.
And you don't have a hijab or anything on. You are already being shown off because you look out of place.
Yeah. She seemed like of everybody, she seems like the most clueless. And once again, it's like, you have a daughter, so clearly getting dick is in your repertoire.
Right?
So what is like, May's a cute little girl.
Cute.
So I'm like, I don't know what, the baby daddy looked like, but I mean,
she does have a history of moving wherever the men go. Because her baby daddy moved to Texas and she moved to Texas too, but that didn't work out. She wanted to move back to Florida. So now this bitch is like, well, I'll just go to Morocco. It's like, bitch, can you just have a man come to you?
Yeah, and Lord, oh God.
So they get arguments.
The K1 visa was denied.
Eventually, yes, it was. And the uniqueness about not Nicole and Azan's story is that they were so fresh in the process that they were the only couple who never got married.
Yeah, you got to see everything from start to finish.
Yeah. So think they were already together for like 6 or 7 months. With a long distance relationship, that's really like 1 or 2 months.
Yeah.
Because there's only so much time you can spend together or talk or get to know anybody. So by the time they were applying for like the visa and stuff, they still hadn't met each other in person. So they had to get that out of the way. And they get all this other documentation, and she had to go again. So she went the second time, but this time she took May because she wanted to have this whole family feeling. Yeah. And she was letting May call him daddy. Yeah.
Meanwhile, he's lying about why he can't even go to America. I'm like, Lord.
For the denial?
Yeah.
Oh, why he got denied? Yeah, he did like leave a whole bunch of stuff out. And so, of course, her mom, Robert Lee, was like, can't you just leave my grandbaby here? Like, why do you have to take... Honestly, if grandma can take care of baby off my hands for 2 months and she don't give a fuck, go to your grandma's house while I go travel the world. Like, it's not... I don't even see... But she has this... So a lot of women have this thing where they push a relationship so hard only because they want the quote-unquote father figure around. And they want this family thing. It's like, yes, obviously a single mom would want to have a relationship or a family at some point. Like myself, but I'm not about to force no situation that shouldn't be had. Yeah, ain't nobody gonna be no man is gonna be called dad for my son. I know that fucking much. Like, I don't want people in and out. And according to her mom, she was dating somebody, and that she was calling that person daddy. Oh Lord, before Azan. Yeah. So I was surprised because when she went the first time, I'm like, bitch, you got enough dick to where you can cheat on Azan? So why are you woman? If that person was good enough to cheat with, why do you have to have Azan from Morocco? Yeah. Yeah, it's, yeah. So I know you brought up the whole weight thing. You say he was more... So what was your take on that part?
When I went back and saw it, at first I was like, dang, that's messed up. Because I only saw a clip. But then when I went and saw like the whole thing and I saw how he was like, no, I really want you to be healthy. And then I noticed like even when she walks, she seems like if she takes 2 steps, she's out of breath. And just her talking seems to be like a chore for her. And I was like, okay, she does seem to need some type of motivation. And he was like, no, let's go to the gym together. We can work out together. And he wasn't really like...
She was taking it as he wanted to change her. Yeah. But that's not what he was coming from. Yeah, he was
like, no, I just need you to be healthier. And I was like, no, I get it. And even like as he was like trying to work out with her, he was like, do it for May. Think about, a year from now, you'll be so. And I was like, oh, but then he did say like he's always really wanted to be like a personal trainer and stuff. And so I was like, oh, he actually is coming from like a good place. So I was like, I can't fault him because,
I have this huge...
She needs to lose, in the words of Joanne, you have gained some weight. You're fat. Let me just say it. You're fat.
You know what? As a fellow big girl myself, one thing I don't like to do is display my fatness to everybody. And what I mean by that was when they went to the sand dunes. Yeah. He proposed and whatever. Bitch can go down the hill, but going up? She was not having it. Yeah. She was like, oh my God. She did like 5 steps. Yeah. She was like, I can't do it. I'm just running out of breath. She was like, I don't exercise. This is not for me. And he was like, come on, honey. We're almost there. She's like, I can't. She's like halfway down. I was like, bitch, you in the desert. I would have been like, you know what? Let me go a little slower back.
Right.
I would not be like,
to where it's like, no, I don't care how hurt your feelings is. Get your ass in the gym.
He was like, you're just being lazy. And it's like, and I really never got really mad at him for what he said. Now, the part that was even worse than the sand dune, was she was like, it was when she took May. Yeah. They went out to get something to eat. And this bitch covered her mouth and said, no vegetables.
Not on her watch. Oh, the veggies.
What? You can't even eat green beans? No. Like, there'll be some vegetables I like. I don't mind salads, green beans. I don't mind, and I've actually more vegetables now than I did with like in my early 20s. Yeah. I eat asparagus now, Brussels sprouts or whatever. Bomb as fuck. Throw some Parmesan cheese on some Brussels sprouts, girl. And she was just displaying her fatness to the world. And then the first time when she went without May, he ordered something, and then the food came. She's like, "Oh, French fries!" She was like, "Everywhere has French fries."
Oh, bless her heart.
I will not. Remember that video that was circling around, and this big girl was on the electrical bull. Yeah, and that bitch tumbled right through the front. I said, I don't want to be that big bitch. Yeah. I need to be that girl that stays on. Right. So when I actually went to Saddle Ranch and I got on, when they tell you, like, you have to lean back, you have to lean all the way back. Yeah. And I made a mistake of not doing that. And I almost fell that first tumble going forward. I said, I will not. I took the little bit of abs I did, constricted them and went back, and I didn't fall off for a good 30 seconds. I said, see, that's what I don't want to be. I don't want to be Scarlett Takes the Tumble. I don't want to be that big bitch coming off the electrical bull. Yeah. I don't want to do any of that. Yeah. If I can't fit on the damn amusement park because my titties too big, bitch, I ain't getting on. Y'all ain't gonna see me struggle. Mm-mm. No, y'all need to know all that. Right. And I will not whisper, hold the vegetables.
Right. You say it proudly. Hold the veggies. But you can't do that.
No, you want to whisper it. Right. And I think she tried to put it off her kid like, oh, May doesn't like vegetables.
That's even worse. You trying to set May up for failure. Like, yo ass. Like, that's
She's
rude.
Like, I don't work out. This isn't a thing for me. Like,
it should be.
At least just do something. Right. And so when Robert Lee, her mom was on the reunion, they were like, what do you think about what Azon said? Azon said, she was like, I be telling that bitch all the time she needs to lose weight. I agree with him. Yeah. But I feel like he never said it in a very degrading way. No. Because y'all did fuck the first time y'all went there. Yeah. And y'all been talking about the wedding night. Right. Apparently you don't smell. Right. So at least she takes her showers.
Yeah. I just see, like, after watching their special and seeing them not getting married, I'm like, oh, yeah, he's not marrying
As that sister wanted to punch both of them in the face. Yeah. $6,000 worth of money lost in the first time they were supposed to get married. Yep. Because they just knew that he was going to get approved for the K1 visa. Yeah. He got denied. Refused. It was refused. Yeah, we refused. And then he tried to play it like, oh, I had a good interview. And then when they met in person, because she wound up moving to Morocco. Yes, move. Mm-hmm. Because he was denied for the K1 visa and it takes a lot of money to go through the process. She felt like the spousal visa was going to be better.
So she goes for 90 days.
She went, a year.
Oh, she was there for a year?
It was different from the K1. The spousal one can take up to a year to get approved. Oh. And they have to stay where they are until it gets approved, and they both can fly over.
Oh, I thought she went over to Morocco and she had 90 days to marry him, or she had to leave because she was on a tourist visa.
No. What happened is that they wanted to get married as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Just so they can apply for the spousal visas in the States.
Yeah.
But when she got there, bitch didn't have originals.
Yeah. And I remember she said her dad had to, like, send some shit.
Her tourist visa expired in 2 months. So it wasn't like a fiance visa. It's just that a tourist visa only lasts for so long.
Yeah.
And she didn't want to overstay.
And then they was like, if you're not married, then you have to go back.
Well, the marriage part is separate, but she just had to leave regardless.
Yeah.
But she was just trying to do it within the tourist visa. Yeah. And then that didn't really matter anymore. Yeah. And then she could stay because she was legally married.
Yeah, because the producers had asked, as in, like, why don't you just legally marry her so she doesn't have to go back home?
And nigga said no.
Yeah, I was like, he don't want to marry her.
No. But okay, so let's rewind. He gets denied. She moves to Morocco on a tourist visa, which expires in 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, I was going to say 90 days.
I mean, 90 days is 3 months. So I just don't want to confuse the listeners with the fiance one and then the tourist one. So they had to get married. Bitch didn't have all her paperwork like she was supposed to because she felt like she can just have copies. Well, I didn't know. Dumbass.
Yeah.
So they couldn't get legally married the way that they wanted. So they were going to postpone the wedding for like a couple months.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And so the first time they had to postpone the wedding. And then when they finally did, the second time they felt like they didn't have enough money because the sister was like, I already spent too much money as our sister. And their family in Morocco was like, I spent $6,000 US worth.
Yeah.
Y'all had to postpone it. Even the family in US had to postpone their
trips and everything.
Like, how inconsiderate can you be for
and
all
even
these people?
She said when her mom was like, we keep having to rebook these tickets every. Well, I'm sorry, it's not going with your timeline. Like, bitch, that's her money.
It takes anywhere between $1,300 and $1,800 to get to a ticket to Nigeria. Mm-hmm. I'll be damned if somebody want to cancel not once but twice.
Yeah.
And y'all bitches know people don't really get travel insurance like that, so they lose all that shit most of the time, or at least most of it.
Yeah.
So when they postponed it, the sister was like, I ain't paying for shit, so they have to wind up paying it on their own. Guess what? They didn't have enough money.
Well, Nicole
didn't have enough money.
Right.
So instead of saving the money for a future wedding and just get legally married at a courthouse, Azan says, no, I don't want to get married at a courthouse. You know what? The money that we do have,
let's put it in our business.
Let's put it in a business that never comes to fruition.
Yeah.
And that's how the special ended.
Yeah. And then he only put $500 into his business. They're setting up a makeup store. And Nicole had put in like $6,000. So when I saw that, I said,
that's how the breakdown
it
was?
makes sense. Yes.
I was probably watching.
Yeah, because they were trying to start their business and get married at the same time. So it was like, well, we don't have enough money for this expensive wedding because Nicole has to pay for everything this go round. And the business, Nicole had put dang near all her money into it. And Azan only put like $500. So,
which is probably hers.
Yeah. So when Nicole's mom come back out and was like, wait, why isn't there not enough money? And then Nicole was like, well, we're doing a business. She's like, what? And then she was like,
let me see your pictures.
Yeah. Oh, well, no, we don't have pictures. She deleted them. And I was like,
can
oh my God.
Can you drive by it? Oh, it's not ready. I don't want to see it. Let you see it until it's ready.
Yeah. And then when she's trying to talk to him, like, so when do you think we can have the wedding? I don't know. And I was like, y'all ain't never getting married. You didn't put your life savings into getting him a business, allegedly. Mm-hmm. He didn't try to come to the U.S. with you, but it didn't work. So now you about to take your ass back. Because even when her mom was like, well, just come back home with me.
Yeah.
And she went and told him, like, well, my mom wants me to come back. I'm like, he didn't even want to be like, well, you're only going to be here a couple more weeks. Let's just spend the rest of our time together. Yeah. Well, your family does miss you. So if you want to go, I'm like.
He didn't really want her to stay. I think he actually does really care about May because that's the only time he really has a smile on his face. Yeah. Did you notice that?
Right. He likes the baby.
I'm not going to lie. This one outfit Azan was wearing with those glasses, and then he had a chunky Jack sweater. Yeah. So Azan looks actually pretty good in this scene right here. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. He's kind of like, he works out and stuff. So he wore some outfit. I'm like, Nicole bought you them clothes? Because them clothes is probably, the outfit looked kind of good or whatever.
Yeah.
And then, but it's just, she's like a pure example of overdoing things, hoping for things in return that you're never really going to get in return.
Right. And her family had been saying that she had been sending him money way
her stepdad
before.
That looks like her grandpa was ruthless.
Yeah.
You too stupid. You've been stupid sending money to him.
And somebody
tell him how many thousands. No. That's my business. Right. It's like, first of all, how the fuck y'all be saving this $5,000 and $6,000? First, can y'all teach me a savings class?
Right, like,
because y'all know that bitch don't make more than I do.
Right.
Second of all, like, why would you just give away your hard-earned money to somebody? Why just let Meg go back? So I don't even know if she could stay. I mean, that the special didn't go that far.
Yeah,
because she was only going to be there 2 or 3 more weeks after her mom left.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the special, they had said if she was not married, she had to leave.
She did leave.
Yeah.
I remember she did leave.
Yeah. And that's when the producer's like, well, why don't you guys just get legally married and then just postpone the ceremony? I don't really want to.
Oh, they asked him, like, do you want to get married? And he was like, I don't know.
Like, yeah, I think he's just realized, like, fuck, I can't get to America with you, so.
Maybe he's just trying to deflect and not fuck her either.
Yeah. We'll see.
Because she was not having it when they had to sleep in separate rooms.
Oh, yeah. She was.
I mean, they did the first time, but then the what did they call it? Reiki or something like that. The hotel pretty much got raided. And Azan thought it was because they were sleeping in the same room and not married.
Yeah.
Which... it sounds like it's ridiculous, but when you're in a Muslim country, you can't.
They don't play that shit.
No, like their religion, they take their religion very seriously, and you can't just. It's not like Christians where y'all be talking about praise Jesus and y'all just got dick last night. It's not the same. It's not how any of that works. That one that saying from last night,
right?
Yeah, no, they don't really roll like that, especially in the Muslim countries. Now, Muslims in the States, that might be a little bit different because the States are just known for having religion, but not really following it 100%. So he was like, now we really have to sleep in separate rooms. Yeah. And then this bitch had the audacity to ask Azan to ask his aunt, can we sleep in the same room? And she was like, no, y'all not married.
That shit
she was like, once y'all married, y'all can do whatever the fuck y'all want. But right now, like, no, that's our religion. You're in our country. No. She's like, oh, well, we had to ask. He was like, I'm just really embarrassed just to even ask my aunt this. Like, she was just so worried about staying in the room with him. Yeah. And it's like, she really needs to do her research before she go. And yes, that's kind of like, remember the aunt made some sheep's head and she was not eating it. And they were like, it was disrespectful.
Yeah, that was on another couple of Happily Ever After. In the Philippines, he did not want to eat the pig. I'm like, I understand, but it's very disrespectful to go to other countries and not eat their food. So if you ain't ready for that, you better, I don't know.
Okay, that's all we can talk about for 90 Day Fiance. It already took over an hour.
Yeah.
I guess next time we can talk about Pedro and Chantel, the stupid Americans. Mm-hmm. So it was like, Pedro eats sister.
Oh, it's a funny shit ever.
Immigration. Muy mal por familia.
It's a funny
Pedro eat. What was her sister's name?
Pedro y Nicole. Es muy mal para mi familia.
In her weave.
I'm like, this lady
Did you see the
amazing.
tell?
Yes.
She was like, did you expect us to give you a lollipop?
Like, why does she talk like that?
Things are going to get more stupider.
She's like, someone by the name of Sir Isaac Newton once said...
Yeah, she was reading it. Did you notice that?
Yeah. There is an equal and opposite reaction.
There is a reaction to every equal opposite reaction. And she was looking down, reading it the whole time, all extra slow. And then Chantel was like, what the fuck? Like, why are you even bringing up this person? But yeah, we'll definitely talk about that next time because I want to talk about the whole Pedro versus River fight.
Yeah.
I personally feel like River started it.
Yeah.
Even though Pedro stood up first. But we'll talk about that. Yeah. That's my personal feeling.
Yeah, I feel like he started it, but he wasn't wrong for starting it. Because I felt like he felt, disrespectful to my parents, and I already don't like you. Catch these hands.
But guess what? If I stand up and then you stand up, but it don't matter if you're not swinging at me, you swinging.
Right.
So what am I going to do?
I swing back.
I'm going to give you my response. So, but that mama...
She's hilarious.
Yeah, but that was a brawl.
Yeah.
A literal brawl.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's not really much of an interesting couple
now the
besides
new couples.
The new ones, yeah. I think Molly. And that was pretty interesting because he turned crazy. Yeah. And then let's finish talking about it. We'll go into it the next episode. We probably only got a time for one more episode because we're already in an hour and 20 minutes. Then we have to talk about T-Mom. Yeah. And that's going to take a little bit probably. Yeah. I say probably like 2 shows, 20 minutes each. Yeah. So there was another brawl on T-Mom. Now, I love how this season had the reunion from last season and the beginning reunion for this season. Yeah. Because they really film majority of the year. Yeah. Because they're already filming with Kale. Yeah. Because I followed her on like Snapchat. You can see the cameraman and stuff like that. Y'all filming already? So they only have probably like a 3, no more than 4 month break. But they're pretty much filming quite a bit. Yeah. But, on the last episode, we talked about how Janelle pulled out a firearm. Do you know this bitch tried to tell her mama that she didn't pull a gun? And Jace was lying? Did you see that? It never happened. She was like, oh, well, Jace said you pulled it. I didn't pull out the gun. I said, bitch, everyone saw you. Okay. Even the officer came up to the car and was like, I see your pistol there. Just try not to reach for it. Yeah. And then she pulls out some plastic gun that was just like, you do realize this is on camera, right? Maybe they forget. They get so no, because she was telling the dude, I got cameras in my car. It's being filmed, dumbass. Right. But now, dumbass. Yes, dumbass. Exactly. You too. So Barbara, I like calling her Barb. She, of course, is now going to try to make sure that Janelle doesn't get any visitation. Mm-hmm. And now that she's best friends with Nathan, she calls Nathan. And Nathan, she was like, you got to get Kaiser out of there. You got to get him out. Yeah. They just care about the grandbabies. Yeah. Of course, she don't give a fuck about Inslee because that's David's daughter. That child is going to be a demon? It's not my business. She does look just like Janelle, too. Yeah. Have you noticed that? Yeah. So because of the comments David made about faggots and all that other stuff he was saying was just so rude and unnecessary. Yeah. MTV decided not to film with him anymore. I guess on the drop off, he was there. Mm-hmm. And they had to stop filming because he had showed up. And then Chelsea, the most of their storyline is that the grandparents invited Adam over for visitation. And a lot of people were actually saying that it wasn't a big deal. Yeah. But I feel like if you've gone through court and the judge has agreed that it is detrimental for the child's well-being for him to be around outside of a visitation center, you kind of need to follow the court order. Yeah. So I was like, okay, it wouldn't have been a big deal if he didn't have to go to the supervisor center. So that's pretty much the only drama that happened. And off camera, Adam's mom actually apologized and was like, I didn't really, I guess, read it or I missed something, so it's not going to happen again. And Chelsea thought that's the first time they took accountability in something because she really didn't want to have to go to court. I think the lawyer just typed up a letter and just sent it to them that way before they went to court. Yeah. So that wound up working out. And then you have Brianna, who, for some reason, I still don't understand why she was so mad that Devon was around. Yeah. I don't see if your mom and your sister, who is taking care of your children, don't mind having Devon around, spending the night and taking care of his daughter and your daughter that has nothing to do with him. Yeah. For free. Yeah. I don't see what the big deal was. And Roxy was telling her, like, no, he's been a big help with homework. We've been taking, you know, he can't drive, but he was going with Brittany, like, to drop her off at school and stuff. And I even saw him playing with the baby, like, oh, she's so cute. Like, what is your big problem? Yeah, something that family has against, like, fathers, and I don't know. But you know what, to be honest with you, from this situation, it's mainly her. Yeah. Because I feel like Roxy and Brittany give more chances to the men than Brianna does. Is it because I never watched all of her previous seasons. So I'm like, is it because you guys aren't in a relationship? So you're just like, I just want to only see you when I'm getting money? Or like her issue from what I didn't really watch Teen Mom 3 because I felt like it was too many damn Teen Mom shows. Yeah. And I felt like her season of Teen Mom was kind of whack. Yeah. So I never really watched it. But if I did watch it, it was because of them. Yeah. She just always had an attitude about stuff that he did do. Yeah. She felt like it wasn't enough. But then she would also complain when he didn't do anything. Yeah. She's like one of those really wishy-washy, bipolar type of baby moms. Where if you do one thing wrong, you're automatically a deadbeat dad. Yeah. Like, but if you pay her the money that she wants every month, she feels like now you're contributing to be a father. She's one of those, like, monetarily is more important to her, like, you being hands-on. For some odd fucking reason, her dad wasn't ever around. And that whole family situation's all fucked up. From Couples Therapy Family Edition with Dr. Jen. That one was real fucked up. Yeah. Because Brittany thought she had a dad that left her, but then she found out that wasn't her biological. Her biological was actually killed. Yeah. And she never knew. And it was like, that whole family is kind of fucked up. Yeah. But, so she's complaining. She's telling her mom, like, you should never brought him. You can't just do anything you want. She was like, you're not going to tell me what I'm taking care of your kids. Right. And he wanted to help. And I'm fine with that. He's actually doing a really good job. He's helping take care of his daughter. But you didn't have to have him in the house and blah, 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 blah. She's like mad because he's pretty much sleeping in her bed. She feels like he's taking advantage so he can have somewhere to stay. Okay. But it's like, you're forgetting that Roxy and them asked him to come over and help. So you're mad at him taking advantage, or you're mad at that he's taking care of his daughter. Like, you don't even remember that fact. Yeah. And so when they did, like, clips and stuff, when her ex-boyfriend came to take care of her, the family already had left to go back to Orlando. And so when they did clips at the house, he was, like, talking to Nova because she had, like, a little attitude. She didn't want to do her little sight words. And he was like, He was like, you know, if I was acting the way he was acting, when I would have got slapped across the face. But look, you over here playing with ponies and stuff. Go ahead and do your sight words. You understand me? Like, he was being the father that he needs to be. Yeah. And it's like, for her not to really have a father figure in her life, it's weird to me. Yeah. It's either both ends of the spectrum. Either they don't want no man around, they feel like can do everything on, or they want the man out there all the time, and they're just really just like, you have to be around. She's on the other end of the spectrum. Like, I think she's more she's toward the end of the spectrum of, I don't need a man around. Yeah. But then she tries to pull she needs you. Yeah. But it's really, I need your money. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. When it comes to being hands-on, she wants to be able to run the show. She wants to be in control.
Yeah.
But she also wants to control them with money.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how her position is. Mm-hmm. So she went out with her friend Shirley, the other one who got the surgery, and her ex-boyfriend that came to help her out or whatever. Yeah. So she was like, I'm going to have a conversation with him. I'm going to tell him that he don't need to be in this house. He needs to leave. He can't be over here trying to use us for a place to stay and blah. He can't even do anything. He can't drive. He can't work, blah, blah, blah. And so it wasn't until her ex-boyfriend was like, but if he's helping, let him help.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, okay. It's like she doesn't get it. If her mom said it, she wouldn't listen.
Yeah.
Brittany, she kind of listens to.
Yeah.
But ultimately, she just makes a final decision. So she went back to the house and she talked to Vaughn. I thought she was going to have a bigger attitude with him.
Yeah.
But she was like, so what are your plans? He was like, well, my plan is to move to my own place. I just have half the money, though. And blah, blah, blah. He's like, I have a job, but it's really far. So I'm trying to see if I can find a new one. And he was like, I just really love taking care. I'm like, he was like, since being here, I see how I missed certain stuff with Noah when she was younger because I was able to take care of Stella. And he was like, Stella is really cute.
Yeah.
I like even seeing her grow up. And then she started crying. And it's like, you didn't even give him, like, you never give him a chance to express himself and how he feels.
Yeah.
You automatically think you know what he feels and then try to portray that on him, and then you react to something that's not even really true.
Yeah.
Devon seems like a real chill, laid back, I smoke weed all the time, and I don't really fuck with nobody type of person.
Yeah.
And so I guess because he was like, I love being around her, then she was like, oh, well, you can stay here as long as you need to. If you need to save money. I'm like, that's kind of foul, though, because 5 minutes ago in the episode, you was just talking about how you wanted to kick him out.
Yeah.
Like, what is your position?
Right. Just all over the place.
Brittany didn't have no problem with him. Roxy didn't have no problem with him.
Yeah.
Brittany, I really can respect her because she can pop off when she needs to pop off.
Yeah.
But I feel like she'd be the most adult, logical person out of all three of them.
Yeah.
Kale's storyline didn't really get popping until the reunion part. So we'll just go on to that. When the episode started airing, I guess they were going off on social media. Mm-hmm. Kale got mad because Brianna said something like, she's talking all this shit, but Chris beat her ass in front of her kids or something like that.
Yeah.
She was like, it's not about Javi anymore. It's not about this. Like, you're talking shit about my kids and Chris.
Yeah.
So she wanted to have a conversation with Brianna. Mm-hmm. And where? At the reunion.
Right.
Now, I thought it was smart that Kale wanted to do it off camera.
Yeah.
Because Kale has been pretty consistent. There was like a certain issue what she wanted to talk about and she was serious about.
Yeah.
She didn't want to do it on camera.
Yeah.
Because she felt like it was being exploited in a sense. So she was like, no, I need this to be off camera. I don't need anybody to see anything. Yeah. I mean, they still have mics on, but they could still be in their own personal bubble because they were in a room with a security guard and like, I guess a producer or whatever.
Yeah.
And she was like, who you think you are for talking about my kids and Chris? And she was like, you say all type of shit about me, but now that I say something, you want to get mad. And she was like, this isn't about Javi anymore. This is about like, you're talking over here talking about my kids. She's like, well, you talk about me. She was like, I don't talk about your kids. And so they're going back and forth. And then Kale was like, let me just hit her real quick.
Girl. And then, because I noticed, like, and then she was like, she's just an internet thug. Because when I was in there wanting to fight, and it's like, people that do fight on a regular basis, or it just has the demeanor of, I can catch anyone's hands at any time. I don't really care. When you want to fight somebody, you know. There was 2 big-ass security guards in that room. It's like, you sitting down being like, I don't want to fight. And then when a whole bunch of people come, it's like, hold me back. Like, you know that a fight is not about to be.
Well, it's already security guards in there.
Yeah, it's like, nothing is going to happen. So that's why when Kale was like, she didn't even get up. And Brianna was like, I was just sitting there. And I was like, I kind of believe Brianna. She probably was just sitting there like, you doing all this because you know security guards is not about to clear the way for us to fight. That's the way I took it.
I agree. But then it was pointless because Brianna tried to do it in front of everybody.
Yeah.
That made it worse.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to... I do agree with that, but it's like, if you wanted to fight her, why didn't you do that in the room? There was only 2 people in there.
Yeah.
But you wait until you're in front of everybody.
Yeah.
That can block you. And now you're saying, come at me.
Yeah.
She really can't come at you now?
Yeah. I was like, Lord.
It was a hot mess. I know Kale had the intention of really going off because she felt like she was talking about Chris, which is the first time I guess, maybe that will help her and Chris in their relationship because she actually defended him, I guess. I don't know where this rumor came from that she was getting her ass beat.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like something like that is a little bit different than just talking shit between the two of you guys because you're really pretty much accusing a man of beating your ass.
Yeah.
And we all know how that turns out.
Yeah.
Shannon, other people, like, it's not true, but, my kids can wind up hearing this.
Yeah.
So, and then it's like the kids are older. Isaac can be like, or what's it, Nova be like, well, my mom told me that, like, your baby's brother, dad, like, hit your mom. Like, it can be, when they start getting school age and you can kind of see stuff because people like me be watching their kid, watch the shows their kid walk in real quick, like, oh, I saw your mom on TV and they said blah, 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 blah. So, Kale's never want to be that aggressive.
Yeah.
She usually just kind of talks and be like, okay, whatever, I'm done talking to you, whatever. So yes, it was different because she did want to fight.
Yeah.
She was in there ready to fight. She had her hair in the ponytail. She had tennis shoes on. She had like a sweatshirt and stuff on. Everybody else was telling Brianna, like, maybe she just wanted to settle the score or whatever. She just wanted, finish and just be, bygones be bygones. No, she got loud from the first word that she uttered out of her mouth. Now, I felt like when they went on stage and they asked Brianna, like, are you good to sit next to her, whatever? Kale said yes to her producer. Brianna said, cool. Yeah, I'm cool with the others. And with her sister, they introduced them one by one. Kale's already sitting there next to Joe. Brittany sat behind Kale with... Who was she sitting next to? I forgot who she was sitting next to.
Yeah.
But when they called Brianna out, she comes out yelling.
Yeah. And then her sister and them had said it, like, all you did was make yourself look bad. Mm-hmm. You should have just caught that bitch after the show because after your little sit down happened, you had some time to think about it and was like, did this bitch really just try to fight when she knows she ain't about that life? I'm gonna see that bitch when I see her. And it's like, well, it just kind of backfired. Like, and
they were like, she was smart in the fact that she tried to do it off camera.
Yeah.
And then you waited. And then, okay, let's say you still wanted to get her ass on stage. Mm-hmm. You could at least wait until you got closer. Mm-hmm. So I feel like they both were kind of just all talk.
Yeah.
Because if you really want to catch her fade, you would have got as close as possible and just went for her.
Mm-hmm.
But you came out 20, 30 feet behind. You're talking all that shit. You ain't gonna do shit in front of everybody.
Yeah.
She's smart enough not to do it in front of everybody. Because at the same time, this is still her job. She still wants to get her paycheck that she's been getting for the past 8-9 years.
Yeah.
So why would she want to get kicked off the show for fighting if it ain't in front of kids? Right. And then you're doing it in front of the audience. You know that news came out so fast that they didn't got to fight. It was like the same day.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we were at the reunion. There's a fight.
Yeah.
So Brittany first got up to hold Brianna back. Mm-hmm. And then Kale was like, okay, I'll fight you. She went around. But she wasn't really like trying to get to her.
Just like, I'm coming.
She was like, I'm trying to get to you, but security.
It's like,
security's in my way.
Right.
And I guess when she went back around, Brittany felt like, okay, bitch, you getting too close to my sister. I'm gonna have to pull you.
Yeah.
So she pulls her by the hair, which there's no fault on Brittany whatsoever. Yeah. She was doing her.
I feel like when you got sisters, you need to be looking at both of them.
Yeah, you do.
Especially when she's like, your sister is your bodyguard. So why wasn't your dumbass looking at the bodyguard?
Your sister got to fight your battles. You know what Brittany is. Like, you gotta know. Brittany's not that type of bitch that's just gonna sit there.
Right. You gotta be like Drita. Like, both keep your
both of you about to get it.
Like, no, I'm not turning my back towards one to fake talk shit to the other.
And it's very known that their family is in each other's business. So
yeah.
If she was already on stage,
yeah,
she probably would have went after you.
Yeah.
But she did try to just stop Brianna at first.
Yeah.
I guess she just felt Kale was too close to her sister, so she had to, and she was like, I'll be asked now, ask questions later. And that's what she literally did. So the girl, Shirley, Brianna's friend, and Brittany, her sister, was like, bitch, you kind of played yourself.
Yeah.
Because you did it on camera in front of everybody.
And all it did was just do what Kale is known for doing. Make herself out to be the victim. I don't like her. I was like,
no, I know.
I don't.
I know.
I was like, I tried to. I'm like, I don't watch this show. So maybe I'd just be catching you on bad episodes. But I was like, no. Because then she's like, this isn't even about Javi anymore. I'm like, but if you look at it, all of this shit has started because you had a problem that she was with Javi. You tried to lie and say, well, you guys were taking my kid somewhere and I didn't really know about it. But then
all that was a lie.
Yeah, I'm like, but then I'm like, well, then she wouldn't be sitting here talking shit about you allegedly getting your ass beat if y'all didn't have problems. And then you're saying, what have I ever said? I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure Brianna didn't just wake up and tweet that. I'm pretty sure you said something to her. Y'all were in a back and forth. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing about Kale that I'm not saying what Brianna said was right, but that's the thing about her that I'm like,
irritates me.
I'm like, you always do shit, but then when somebody else does something and it's bigger than what you did, you play victim and be like, you know what, that's not fair, or that's not right, or how could you do that? It's like, but you had a hand in escalating it.
Yeah. I'm in a position of, it's not that I really like her, I just feel like she really needs like a real good big sister to kind of just
and then I don't like the way she talked to people. I'd be like, you just seem like a bitch.
She just needs somebody to like guide her because she didn't really have no parents. She was like 14, 15 years old.
Yeah,
I feel like I root for her, but she just be doing so many things. It's just like, come on, girl, like.
Yeah.
Come on. You supposed to, be doing better. She was like, well, what did she say? She was like, I'm accomplished. She's not. And it's like, okay.
Y'all were still busting it open, getting pregnant at 16.
Well, I was like, through paper, yes, you are accomplished in that sense. But if you really want to think about it, she's more accomplished in the sense that she didn't have to go to school to get the money that she's getting.
Yeah.
Even though she's working.
Right. It's like y'all still traveling on the same road. Like, I don't... Okay. Yeah.
And if you really want to add to it, she has less kids than maybe that.
Yeah, she's not a 3 for 3. And then it's like, you look even stupider because you was just on... marriage boot camp talking about I don't like you. I don't want you. I hate you. Get away from me. I want this divorce. I want this done with. Now 3 months later, he dating Brianna. Now you all up in his business. Like, I told you about her. I'm always right. It's like, well, you weren't that right because you just had to divorce him. So
honestly, the whole thing between Brianna and Kale, Javi makes it worse.
Yeah.
Cause he be doing some shit. Some foul, slick ass shit. Did you see when he popped up to Kale's house after the whole Miami incident?
Nuh-uh.
Okay, so he leaves Miami because he doesn't like the whole atmosphere.
Of course.
He runs back to Delaware and goes to Kale's house.
Yeah.
And he was like, let me tell you what happened in Miami. And so it's like...
just messy.
If you, Javi, feel like your ex-wife really is just jealous and just wants to be with you when she keeps saying that she doesn't.
Yeah.
and you feel like you have no other emotional ties to her but being a co-parent, why the fuck do you keep going back to her
y'all
and tell?
business?
Yeah, that's what. Yes.
Like, don't you got any other friends to talk to?
No.
Like, Lord. Like,
that's why it's like when it comes to
mess.
Javi specifically, it's like I don't trust Javi either because he be fucking around with people's minds. So it's like if you ran, and then he tried to fuck over Brianna.
Yeah.
Because he was like, I got somebody right now that's willing to move to Delaware for me. Then he goes back and then runs back to Kel. Oh, I didn't even want to be in that situation. She's horrible. He was like, I'm sorry. You're right. I shouldn't have went over there. She was like, yeah, you over here taking care of this bitch when you should have been over here helping, like being with your son and blah, 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 blah. It's like he keeps letting things happen.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah.
They deserve
what Kel was saying was kind of like, if you really felt like he's your sloppy seconds, then it really shouldn't have been that big of a deal.
You would have been like, girl, have fun.
Yeah.
If you only knew.
But then it's like, Javi did admit he was kind of playing both of them at the same time. So when he finally showed up to the reunion, he went to Kel's like area, was just sitting there eating. He was like, so what happened? And she kind of told him what happened. But then she was like, you know what? This all really stems down because of you and her.
If you would have never dated her, or if you would have just minded your business and been like, do you?
I still don't understand exactly the problem that Kel is saying why she didn't like her besides them just dating.
Yeah. She's never, because even she said, she was like, if it wasn't for you guys dating, me and Brianna wouldn't have an issue. And when she said that, I was like, well, why? I understand the whole, we all work together, so now it's weird y'all dating. But aside from that, once you get over the initial weirdness, like, okay, this is kind of weird, but okay, like, we, you know.
The only thing I can think of, honestly, is how Javi was trying to talk to both of them at the same time. I feel like that's the only thing I can feel would be the issue that Kel has with Brianna, was because for the longest time, those two were saying, we're just friends, we're just friends, we're just friends, we're just friends. And they clearly were more than friends, even though they weren't an official boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. And the way Javi is, he will say, I don't want to be with Kel because she's not loyal. But then 10 minutes later, he's texting her talking about, can I come over?
Yeah.
So that's why it's like, I still feel Javi is like a huge part of the reason why those two did not like each other. Because Brianna and Javi's talking about they're just friends. But it's like, bitch, y'all be flying to each other to see each other and be having kids together. Like, this is clearly more than just a friendship. Because if it was a normal friendship, all your other friends you'd be traveling and seeing and all that kind of stuff. It's just kind of awkward because Javi and Kel haven't been divorced that long. So obviously y'all been knowing each other since they were married. So how are you only friends with Javi?
Right.
If you've been friends with him since they were married. So I feel like it's a little bit more that we probably don't know. But that's why it's like when she was like, this is your fault. It's like, yes and no. Yes, because he was trying to do his little dirt and then try to talk to Brianna and say stuff to Kel. And then they wind up fucking even after after Brianna and Javi broke up, they wind up fucking.
Right.
So it's like they obviously still have something, but he's trying to play it off to Brianna and the rest of the world. That they don't want to. I don't know if you saw the conversation Kel had with Leah. And they were like, our men, our ex-husbands, they want to try to play it off like they don't want to have us anymore. But they don't want to do this on camera. Off camera, they're all types of, I miss you and, you know, blah, 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 blah. And I believe them.
I do.
So it's like, but it's like, no, it's not Javi's fault because you could have just been like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm gonna take care of my kids and I ain't worry about you no more. With that. So that's where it's kind of, I like blame her because she's like letting that situation, which is messy and she shouldn't want to be a part of it at all.
And it came off as if you did more escalating than Brianna did. That's how it really comes off.
Brianna's like, she's over it. She was like, once you cross me, I'm kind of done with the situation.
Yeah.
Even her friend, her ex-boyfriend was like, yeah, the way I know her, she's like, once you get on her bad side, she's not coming back from that. And it just escalated and escalated. And then when the show starts airing, Brianna's saying stuff about Kel saying stuff about Brianna. And 1 minute, Brianna was like, well, I don't want to be a problem in your co-parenting. And then the next minute, she doesn't like something. She sucked my dick. Yeah. And then she's over here like, oh, she's ratchet and
right.
trash.
Oh, my God. How dare she say suck my dick? I'm like, but you, okay. Let Kel tell it. I was sleeping in my bed, and I just got this random text message saying, suck my dick.
Yeah, it was just kind of like...
back and forth.
Yeah, it just very, the whole situation is very immature on all three parts. But of course, Javi wasn't there when they fought to begin with. Yeah. Now y'all look stupid because Javi just sitting there minding his own business. Right. Get some other bitch pregnant. So.
Yeah.
And it looks like, according to timeline, he could have been messing with her when he was still with Brianna.
Probably, yeah.
Because she's already like 7 months pregnant by now. She should be close to having a baby. Because they did a gender reveal like 2 or 3 months ago. Yeah. And that's always done around 19 to 20 weeks, which is halfway through. So yeah, she should be close to giving birth at this point. Yeah. And yeah, so they fought and they did the little special, they said behind the screens. Right. It was like a special other reunion. Yeah. So I guess the next couple episodes is going to be the actual reunion. And Brianna did talk to Dr. Drew about the whole fight and she winds up crying and stuff. Yeah. If I was Brianna, I would have waited until I got on my couch. Yeah. And then went for her. On some sneak shit. Yeah. I'd rather be talked about being sneaky than me getting blocked by security. Yeah. And then she looked more of a maniac because she's screaming and hollering at the top of her lungs and getting cut from like going over the table, underwear showing, looking like a maniac. And Kel's just like, I'm trying to come to you, but security's in my way. Right. But yeah, it was dramatic. Yeah. And we don't really have time for it anymore. So
going forward, we'll keep 90 Day Fiance to 30 minutes.
Well, yeah, I mean, we talked about it for the first time. It's like 5 seasons of 90 Day Fiance, 3 seasons of Happily Ever After, and 2 seasons of Before the 90 Days, which we didn't touch on at all. Yeah. So we're going to be taking our little break. It's time for our little fall break. We'll be back in 2 wonderful weeks, which is, let's see, 1, 2. We'll be back on the 28th for an episode to be released on the 29th. Yay. So until then, make sure you get caught up on all of our episodes if you are a new listener. And you can follow us on social media, RealiTEA-V on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. We have a Facebook group called Tea Sipper Discussions. Join. And you can follow me personally at Fumi Adagu on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, Ebony888 on Snapchat. So...
And you can still follow me on social media. I've been getting a whole bunch of followers, even though I don't post anything. I'm like,
really?
I guess y'all love me still. So I haven't been posting nothing new, but if you want to see what my past has been like, follow me on Instagram, Leave It to Be, and
wait, how do you know if you got new followers if the app is still on your phone?
Oh, I log in. I've had to log in to get like a few numbers, send a few DMs, and it just be like, oh, 6 followers. I'm like, who are y'all? But thank you.
Oh, so you still have it. You just log off.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm not, yeah.
Do they send you emails about stuff that you got on Instagram?
No. Only if I'm logged in. Well, it doesn't send me emails. It'll send me just like alerts that'll pop up if I'm logged in.
Oh.
So, yeah.
So what do you log in for?
Well, when I lost my phone, I had to log back in to get a few numbers. Then I had to find my hairstylist. So I had to send her a DM to get her number. Yeah.
Oh my God. Where did you lose your phone?
And then my it crashed doing an update.
Oh, crashed.
So Sprint was like, no, your phone completely crashed. They were like, we either have to completely fix it or give you a new one. So I actually need to go do that. And then every single picture I've taken since I've been in Vegas is now gone. So I was like, oh, well, that's good to know.
It ain't on the cloud?
Nope.
Oh, hell.
Everything before. And maybe it'll come up when I get my phone back, but when I like uploaded and signed in everything, it did not. So I'm like, well, whatever. I guess we'll start from new.
And then these bitches worth over $1 billion.
Right. Can't even keep
And I got
photos.
shredded up chargers and crashing iPhones. Anyway, see y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.